my side, no worries on our minds, and everything is right. It's summer, never want this night to end.
Hey everyone, my name is Cata Balzano and I'm here to bring you an amazing special. The entertainment industry many times makes us think we know people a lot more than we do. At Basico Stream, we understood that very early on. So we've created a space for you to really see and understand conversations with some of your favorite figures. This is Brutally Speaking, and today I'm actually interviewing someone who knows that all too well. He first became very famous on YouTube, and since then he's become a household name. Let's give a very warm welcome to Austin Mahone. Hello.
How are y'all doing?
How are you?
I'm really good. I'm back home in Miami now. I feel blessed to be y'all's first guest on the show, so thank you for having me.
Austin, no, we're so excited. I want to know something.
Yeah.
What is it about Miami that just keeps you coming and staying?
I think probably the beach and the weather.
Is that all though?
I mean, that's not all, but that's like definitely like top three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about your lifestyle in Miami. I do know you're from Texas, and it's very different, obviously. Everything is different. I've been to Texas many times. What is it about Miami that you prefer over Texas?
Well, like I said, the beach, we don't really have like that clear of water there. The nearest beach is probably like 4 hours away from everyone. So the food here, the culture, all the dancing, and I don't know, it's just infectious, like the energy that's here.
I feel like you have like a really big connection to Latin industry, Latin music. A lot of your friends are Latin. You
True.
have collaborations with Latin people. You have done many collabs with Pitt. What do you love about the Latin industry?
Shoot, I mean, there's so many things to love. I mean, I think just the Latin industry really does have a lot of love for me, and they're very passionate and, you know, intense and fiery, and I love that, you know.
Do you feel like part of your success has been the fact that so many Latinos in the industry have kind of like collaborated with you and pulled you into their projects?
No, for sure. Early on in my career, I was definitely blessed to have collabed with many big artists, Flo Rida, Pitbull, just to name a couple, and just to be accepted by Miami and by the Latin culture is massive, and I'm very, very grateful, and I don't want to take, you know, I want to not take it for granted, so. Yeah.
Miami's a very niche culture. What is some food that you love here that you hadn't had before that you tried it and you were like, oh, I love this?
Pollo a la plancha.
Yes.
I know it's not like crazy. That's not like anything like insane, but we just don't really have that in Texas like that. So.
Right. Do you ever do like a ropa vieja, empanaditas, pastelito de guayaba?
Yeah, I love empanadas. I had one earlier, so
Yeah.
you know, I had to get that under my belt.
Amazing. Chris, you know, you got started on YouTube and I remember you just uploading videos, and then all of a sudden things just like started escalating for you in a way out. Your talent was obvious from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that evolution.
Yeah, I mean, I just put myself out there on the internet when I was very young, like 13 years old. You know, I would come home every day after school and just, you know, try anything to do but homework. You know, play basketball, hang with my friends, just anything but homework. So we were like, you know what, let's try to do something fun, maybe start a YouTube channel. So we would, you know, post each other like playing basketball and wrestling, and then I posted a singing video and it got way more views than the rest. And I was like, okay, I gotta do some more of these because you know the numbers are screaming at us. So I did some more of those, and they just kept getting bigger and bigger. And I was like, wow, there's actually something that the people love here.
Right.
So I just did that for 2 years and was consistent with it. And then it took me all the way here to Miami. When I was, you know, 15, turning 16.
Right.
I signed to Cash Money Records. I went on tour with Taylor Swift as soon as I moved here. So everything just happened very fast. And it just went to show me that with consistency and believing in yourself, you can get anywhere.
Absolutely. Walk me through that process, because 10, 15 years ago, editing a video and, you know, producing something for yourself at such a young age for YouTube, you know, it was a bit more challenging. How would you go about creating those videos, filming them, and doing all the things, and then posting them?
I mean, it's just as simple as just doing it, because it's a lot of things you got to think about, but when you just do it, it's not as hard as you think it's going to be. You just got to pick a song you love, set yourself up in front of the camera, sing it, you know, a few times till you feel good about it, and then just let it go.
Amazing. I actually, I have something I wanted to show you of you with a friend singing a song that you guys really loved.
There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach.
If we're trying, somewhere breaking free.
It's a real romance right there.
A real bromance.
You know the world can see
I was channeling my inner Zac Efron there.
in a way that's different than
No, you were doing a great job too.
Creating space between us till we said we're high.
Here we go.
But your faith
It gives me strength.
Strength to believe.
we're breaking
We're
free.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, these are the videos we would do like in between the singing videos,
Oh,
just to like
really?
switch it up and like, you know. Actually, you know, I think this was part of a live stream. So I've been live streaming since like 15 years ago.
Okay,
I would do it
okay.
every Friday,
Okay.
and that was just kind of part of my consistency with the singing videos. And so we would just do random stuff like that on there to, you know, early clip farming, I guess, right there.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and also so creative. But I want to know, how did you begin dealing with that type of internet fame at such a young age?
Definitely didn't really seem real until it was, you know. So like the first 2-3 years, it was everything online, you know. I would pull up to a couple birthday parties here and there, but then once I moved to Miami, that's when it was like full throttle. Like I would have like 100 girls outside on the sidewalk outside my house wait for me for like months. Every single day would they be out there, and I was like, this is so weird and all new to me. Like I'm a very shy kid, you know, moved around a lot, didn't have too many friends, and then to have the whole world be like, who is this guy? And then I have random people on the sidewalks and stuff. I was like, this is just so weird. Like, how did I get here so fast?
What was that key moment that you said, oh my God, I think I'm actually famous?
Probably when I first moved to Miami and people was outside on the sidewalk
Right.
literally every day.
And how were you handling it?
Well,
Were you going up to them? Were you waving at them? Were you
I
just
mean,
hopping
no,
in your car, running away?
I would definitely go out and show love and say hello, take pictures and all that. But then it just became a point where it was like, they were like, okay, we know he's gonna come out and say hello, so we're just gonna wait here every day until he does it every time. They would, you know, and if I didn't, and I would just get in my car and go to the mall or a Target, they would just be right there, like in a convoy of like 7 cars, right behind me, anywhere I went.
Through YouTube, you earned the nickname Baby Bieber for a while, and I think people saw a lot of you, or a lot of Biebs in you, or vice versa. You're an amazing dancer. You know, you're a
Thank
singer.
you.
You're an all-around artist. How was it to disassociate from that label? Because like obviously, as an artist, that you wanted to, you know, form yourself and delve into the industry. You probably didn't always want to be known as someone who maybe reminds people of Justin Bieber.
For sure. I mean, you know, at first it was definitely flattering and it was cool because I definitely looked up to him as I started my own career on YouTube. And then for people to compare me to him like 2 years later, I was just like, I mean, this is cool. But after a while, it just kind of just felt old, you know. And for me, I was like, I don't want to be known as a Baby Bieber or like me doing exactly everything that he did. But I also feel like my label and everyone was like secretly like really like loving it. Like, yeah, we got to keep pushing this narrative. Like, and I definitely get it, but it was just kind of annoying after a while. But definitely great to be compared to one of the greatest, you know.
Absolutely. So you kind of like stuck with it a bit while the label kind of like
Yeah,
rummaged around?
I really wasn't like fully behind it. Like, yeah, I'm the Baby Bieber. Like, let's just tell everyone that. Like, I was never really on that vibe, but I'm sure like people behind the scenes, like at my label or whoever, was probably like, no, just keep pushing that. It's
They
good,
were
it's
sneaking
good.
it in the press release,
Yeah,
like,
it's
hey,
good,
by the way,
it's
he's
good.
Baby Bieber.
Yeah, and then yeah,
That's amazing. Would you like to in the future collab with Biebs?
I think it would be cool. Yeah. I mean, we've been in the studio together a couple times in the past in Miami at the Hit Factory, and definitely had a couple chances to collab, but I'm not quite sure it'll happen anytime soon. But it would be nice.
Amazing. When it comes to getting signed by that label, by your first regular, I mean, I know you've already been signed to a few, but when you were signed, how did that change your artistic process? What changed for you as an artist that was starting to, you were already famous, so it's not like getting signed to the label made you famous, but how did that process evolve?
It evolved by me having all of the creative control when I wasn't signed, and then once I signed, they were like, you're gonna sing these songs, you should wear this, you gotta say this, and so like they kind of like took my freedoms away, you know, of being able to just like do the things that I wanted. But I was also 15, 16 years old, so I was like, I know I need to like, you know, listen to my elders a little bit, and I'm sure they're giving me some good wisdom. So I was trying to take everything that they said with a grain of salt, but also it was tough because I was just a young kid, and I hadn't even really. I was 16 when I officially started in Miami, so
Right.
it was definitely difficult to like be like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this, and I'm not gonna say that, or I don't want to do that at that time, you know.
Right.
I was just kind of just going along with everything.
Okay. But you did have ideas of your own that maybe you wanted to implement.
For sure, and it's not like they were like, no, you can't have any of your ideas like that. It was just always like, no, trust us. Like this is gonna be what we're doing, and I'm like, shoot, okay, you know. Like when I worked with Red One, who did all of Lady Gaga's first biggest hits, like Red One and his team did my first album. Okay. So I was like, yeah, like of course I would love to work with Lady Gaga's like, you know, original team. Like who wouldn't, you know? But I wasn't like, like let me just go through all these people, and I personally want to work with Red One. Mm-hmm. So it was all just like believing in the vision and seeing where it went, you know. And as I got older, I was like able to be like writing and producing my own records and saying what I wanted and didn't want. So, yeah, you know.
Austin, did you have supportive parents that were maybe hands-on, that were very much like, you know, because there's artists that do, and their parents are very like, I feel like Taylor Swift's parents are like that and stuff. And then there's parents that maybe just let like the record label take charge.
Yeah, I was raised by a single mother. My dad passed away when I was 1, so it's been me and my mom this whole time, and she's been like the best momager, you know. She's always looking out, and
I love that.
Never like being, you know, there can be some momagers that are just like too much and like always come in and being like who is this crazy lady, like, you know. But she's always been like super chill, very cool, and very grateful for her. She still is always looking out for my best interest, so shout out to Mom.
What's the best advice your mom has given you?
When you wake up, the first thing you do is should make your bed.
Really?
Yeah.
She taught you like make your bed. Is it because of the theory that if you make your bed, at least you've done one thing during the day, or was there another theory behind it?
I mean, that's kind of it. It's really just, she sent me this video of like this like random admiral, like I'm sure he's massive. I just can't think of his name right now, but
Okay.
some guy, you know, in the military that was delivering a speech and saying like, you know, listen, when you get up and you start by making your bed every day, it's not about just making your bed and doing what's right. It's about accomplishing something so that you can snowball that into accomplishing things all day, you know?
That's spectacular.
Yeah.
I'm so curious about your fame in Japan. Like, I want to know what happened? Like, walk me through the process. How did you become? I mean, you're global, but how do you have so many fans in Japan?
I ask myself that a lot of times.
I bet.
It's crazy because before my real big look in Japan, which is around like 2018, before that, 2018, I was in Japan like 2014, 2015, doing my own shows on my own tour, selling out, I don't know, 5,000 cat people just on my own. Just
and you were topping
the power
charts?
of the music. Yeah, topping charts. And then I released a song called Dirty Work, which I shot here in Miami, and with Gil Green. Shout out Gil Green. And that song was 4 years old, and it blew up in Japan in 2018 and was like the biggest song in Japan history, like #1 for like 30 weeks, like outbeating Ed Sheeran, Taylor Swift. And I was like, what is this? I just woke up and they're like, yeah, by the way, you're the biggest in Japan right now.
That's wild.
And I'm like,
that is wild to me.
Yeah, so then when I'm going back, you know, after 4 years I've already been there, like planting seeds, you know, then, you know, as you see there on the TV, I'm performing for like 25,000 people, like 3-4 times that I've last been there. So
what's the Japanese fan base like? Like, what are they like?
Well, I'll tell you, they're definitely the complete opposite of the Latin fan base.
Wow. In what way?
They're just everything opposite of them. Like,
okay.
Like the Latin fan base is very like, you know, loud and aggressive with love, and like just very passionate and like no boundaries and like very, very loud, you know, lots of love.
I'm glad you said it.
Lots of love in Japan, of course, as well, but they're very, very quiet. Like they don't really cheer or like, you know, they if I try to give someone a hug, they're like the trip out. They're like,
oh really?
They like get like, I don't know. They just don't. It's just different there.
Culturally, of course, it's
Culturally,
so different.
it's like a complete 180 from anywhere else I've been in the world. But they're just very, very, very respectful. You tell them to get into like a single file line, and they'll just do it immediately.
That's awesome.
You
Do
know?
you feel like your demeanor changes a bit? Like maybe you relax a bit more with them because you know somebody's not going to like, you know, come up to you and hug you, and you're going to have to throw their phone like Bad Bunny threw somebody's phone into the water.
For sure. Like when I go to Japan, I'm pretty relaxed and chill, and I know that, you know, everyone's going to be respectful, and and then I go to Latin America and I'm just like head on a swivel, like, you know,
Bodyguards and
looking over both shoulders. No, but it's love everywhere. It's just different types of people, you know.
That's amazing. Would you get into something like K-pop? Because I was talking to somebody from production how Avril Lavigne is also huge in Asia, and she actually recorded a song, if I'm not mistaken, in like Korean or Japanese. Would you be into doing something related to like K-pop or Japanese music? Or
Of course.
Yeah?
If I like the song, I'm gonna be down to be a part of it, you know.
Interesting. Would you so you would be into doing that in the future?
Yeah, of course.
Love that. Love that. Tell me a bit about your industry relationships. I was looking at your collaborations, and I'm not saying your career is short, but for someone who has been at it for, I'd say, 15 years now, you have amazing collabs. We're talking T.I. I have here Rich Homie Quan, 50 Cent, Abraham Mateo, Mario Bautista, Lalo Ebrard, who I love. Obviously, I'm half Colombian. I love Lalo. These collabs and this work, like, how has it gone about, and how have you been so successful at landing these collabs? Kid Rock, come on.
No, I mean, there's so many. I think it's really just I think the artist to artist relationship is the best, you know. When it comes from, like, say, like my manager hits an artist or whatever, like, it just doesn't come across as like a good connection sometimes, you know. It's better if, like, when the artists like really connect, then it's just easier to like pull up and hit the studio or shoot a video or do whatever, you know.
Right.
Like I'm working on something with Kodak right now. We have a song together, so
That's dope.
yeah.
Can you tell me a bit more about it?
Yeah, so I was in Homestead, I think 4 or 5 years now. They're having like a random NASCAR event. I'm up in the top sections with like Michael Jordan and like other like crazy people.
Okay.
Just like I'm up there, like, and I look down over the railing and I see this guy with like crazy knots on his head and like it looks like Kodak. And so I tagged him in a story and I was like, at Kodak, are you here too? Like, you know, just trying to
Get
connect.
his attention, you know,
Yeah,
no
just
big
trying
deal.
to
It's
connect.
just
Maybe
Kodak.
he DMs me back and he's like, yeah, I'm like right here, and I'm like, you know, turn around, look up. I'm like, you know, you never know. So, but he never responded to that until like 3-4 years later.
Okay.
And we're just like, I got a song for you.
Right. So these collabs are usually more like on the organic sense, like it's more
Yeah.
you deciding. So how do you go from, okay, Kodak, I can actually like understand a bit more, but Abraham Mateo and 50 Cent, how was that?
I mean, the 50 Cent part was random to me too, just because I was like, he didn't tell me he was gonna be on there, and then when the song came out, it was like he was on there, and I was like, I have a
What?
song of 50 too.
Right,
like,
right.
What the heck is going on? So, yeah, he came to Miami, or he was in Miami, you know, same time I was, and he came to my studio at my house, and he was just like, you know, what do you think about this record? If you wanna, you can write a verse to it right now and sing on the hook with me. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we just did it right then and there, and then it came out, and then 50 was on there, and I was like, this is crazy.
Who is an artist that you would love to collaborate with and that you don't see as something impossible? Because sometimes people, they'll come here and like we ask them, they're like, well, this person, but it's just, I just don't see it. But who's someone that you don't see as an impossible that is major?
I don't think anything is impossible anymore. After the things that I've seen and experienced, I think you just have a dream, you see it, and you make it happen, and it can happen, you know? So for me, I would say George Strait.
George Strait?
Yeah, he's, to me, the king of country, and he's pretty much the only artist I grew up on, like, the first 8 years of my life, you know?
Okay.
George Strait, everything. He was the first artist I even heard. So I love George. I met him, and on my 21st birthday, I went to Vegas, and we shared a shot together backstage before a show.
I love
Pretty
that
incredible.
so much. Yeah, and you've done so much with country now, which I think is amazing. Like I love country music, and you've really like delved into it with your last album and all that. But before we get into that, I want to say that I do think it's great that you say that there are no limits, because one of the biggest global artists in the world, Taylor Swift, you opened for her when she went on her Red Tour. What was that like?
I mean, it was definitely a big switch from performing for 400 people in like a random club. You know, I went from doing 400 people to 60,000 a night with like little to no experience at performing at all. So it was definitely a massive switch, and I had to just dive in head first. And you know, you can only just do your best and have fun. And I had just turned 16, so like, you know, still got acne on my face. I'm still learning how to dance and like not look awkward on stage. And to go from small clubs to on tour with Taylor Swift, I was like, all right, I gotta like snap it together real quick here, you know?
What did you learn from being on tour with her? Because she's so disciplined, they say.
Yeah, I mean, she's given me some advice about, you know, keeping my team close and making sure, like, I got the right people around me. And when I do feel like I have the right people around me, to just take care of them, keep them close, and hold on to that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing how professional she is on the tour, and still being the sweetest, you know, not having, like, an attitude, or, you know, because all that can get to you, and you could just, like, have a bad day, and you would never know if she's having a bad day, or she's always sweet, always smiling, you know, very, very, just a genuine hearted person.
So being a witness of her, you know, her ethics, like her discipline, all of the things, does it surprise you that she does so well?
No, because that's literally what it takes, you know, like, you have to do, like, every little thing has to be done right for you to be that big and to get to that level. So, you know, learning from her, from Pitbull, even Kodak, you know, just being with them and hearing their advice and understanding what it took for them to get to where they are, you know,
Right.
and I can relate to some of that. You
Right.
know?
What is some of that? Give me maybe like 1 to 5 things that you would say, this is what it takes to become a star.
I think it just takes always just having that hunger and always just wanting more. You know, you gotta, like I said, keep a solid team around you, because it does take a team. I like to think sometimes I prefer to work alone, and I do like that, but I know that it actually takes a team to get to the places you want to go. So, you know, you can only get so far doing it by yourself, but you gotta have a solid crew and just be consistent. That's really what I did to get started and to get to where I was. So,
does it get lonely a bit, Austin, sometimes?
lonely?
Yeah, does it get, you know, you're in a room with so many people at all times, but do you ever just feel like I can't, you know, I feel weird, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to tell anybody, I don't know if I trust or not?
Definitely have trust issues sometimes, but
Okay.
and I'm a very introverted to myself type of person, so my social battery definitely can get drained very fast. But I do value my personal time, and so I feel like I don't really ever feel too lonely. I do have a new cat in my life, so
I love that.
yeah, I love cats, I love dogs, and hadn't had a cat in a while, and I live in a place where I'm not trying to walk a dog outside like 5 times a day. Like, I'd rather just me and my cat stay inside, you know, not have to go nowhere.
Is it because of the heat? Because of Miami heat?
No, because I live in Nashville now.
Oh.
And I live downtown, so if I had a
Okay.
dog, I'd be like searching blocks for a patch of grass.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So you're doing more Nashville, Texas now rather than Miami, or you're just doing the trifecta?
Yeah, it's the trifecta. I'm from San Antonio. That's always home. Miami's always home.
Right.
I always
I
say
love
I
that.
grew up as a boy in San Antonio and as a man in Miami. So I've, you know, literally half my life has been in each one. And now that I've lived in Nashville 2 years now, I'm like, okay, this is like a new chapter for me. San Antonio, Miami is always home. I can go back there. I have fam and friends there. I can stay with whoever. So Nashville, I'm definitely kind of out there on my own, but I'm embracing the uncertainties, and I love it.
Nashville's kind of like a real like a hot spot right now. I feel like more
Yeah.
than ever, right? It's like the place. I feel like so many producers are moving there. Is it because of like country music, or do you think it's something else since you're there?
Yeah, I mean, it is because of country music. Country music is like one of the biggest genres right now. So that's,
That little smirk.
that's the mecca of it.
Right.
And it's also considered Music City, not just for country music, but for
course.
all of music. So, you know, I think even more than LA, like, you just go and everyone's a writer or a producer, like your bartender or the bus driver or Uber driver, like everyone is always doing music. So it's just nice to like finally be around so many musicians and writers. Then,
Right.
because here, like, there's people here, but it's not like the main thing everyone's doing. Like, everyone's doing everything. So you gotta like know who to get together with. But like, you could literally probably just walk outside of Nashville and find someone that works at the bar and be like, hey, you want to write after this? And
Right.
99.99% of the time they're gonna be like, yeah.
It's more small town in the midst of the fact that it is
Yeah.
Nashville.
Very small town. Like, I walk everywhere. I don't
Right.
need to drive anywhere. I just walk and scooter, and it's all just right there. So
Right.
I love it because I do live alone, and sometimes I could feel lonely, but surrounding myself with the city and the energy, like, I never feel that, you know.
Right. When I see someone like you who's so busy traveling, or like Taylor and stuff, and like I said, my girl Taylor also, you know, she's now with Travis Kelce. She finally found a guy that she seems like she's really happy with them. When I look at someone like you, I'm like, how hard must it be to like date and have like a stable relationship? Is it hard, or do you find balance in the midst of the travel and the chaos?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know because I'm not looking for a serious relationship.
Oh, okay. So you're putting like a not serious on Tinder?
Yeah, something like that.
On Raya? Are you on Raya?
Yeah. I was telling someone earlier on my Raya, I had a thing in my bio that was like, don't connect with me if you're looking for something serious, because that's where it gets confusing. You
I
know?
love that. You know, on Raya, I have just looking for friends or something. You know how there's the option for like just friends?
Yeah.
But then I wonder if that's why I don't connect with that many people. And I've even like, I was telling my friends the other day, I've seen like Lewis Hamilton on there, Diplo on there and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder, because I feel like nobody really talks to each other on Raya.
No.
Everyone's just on there, just showing off.
You
the fact that they made it on Raya.
Yeah, I mean, you could connect with a lot of people, but I feel like it's like, you know, you're not making any connections still.
Have you ever dated a girl that you met on Raya?
Yeah.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. I wanted to know about, I would say, one of the best connections that you've made, and it's not relationship wise. It's, I would say, Pitt has, like, you know, you guys have collaborated on many songs. Tell me about that relationship. How did it start? How did you and Pitbull connect initially?
Well, it started when I moved to Miami when I was 15, about to turn 16. I signed to Chase Management, who also managed T-Pain at the time, who was also one of my favorite artists that kind of like redirected me from listening to country music to like discovering R&B and hip-hop was T-Pain. And he's still one of my favorite artists to this day. I've collabed with him, worked with him, so it's just cool to be able to, you know, be in those rooms with the people that you've grown up listening to, especially Pitbull as well. And so signing to Chase Management, them managing T-Pain. I live in Miami now. They also knew Pitt as well. One of my managers, I kind of like grew up with him a little bit, so he already had a personal relationship with him. And when I signed to Cash Money and Universal, we were like looking for a big feature, and Pitt said that he was down early on, and so we did Yeah together.
Yeah.
And that was like one of like 3 records that we recorded together back then, and I was just very, very grateful and blessed still to this day that he was, you know, willing to take a chance and bless me with the record. So
yeah, I really admire about him that he's always looking to, you know, push new talent and like just really like encourage, like where he sees talent, he's willing to push.
Absolutely.
I do know that you recently put out a song with Chris Daniel, who is signed to his label as well. Tell me a bit about that collab.
Yeah, so I mean, I've known Chris for a decade, and we've been in the studio, you know, a few times here and there, but this is like our first time finalizing a song and putting it out officially, and it's amazing. I love Chris. That's my brother over there.
Amazing.
And it's a family thing, so I'm just happy that we're able to, you know, make music that we like and have nobody tell us that we can't put it out, and we just do what we want. And I think that's the beauty of being an artist and making the art that you want to make, and not having anyone be like, oh, I don't know about this one, like we kind of want to go in this direction. Like, no, we're gonna do what we want to do.
Right.
So.
When it comes to making choices now in regards to promoting your music and, like, you know, who you collaborate with, do you feel more freedom now, like 15 years in that you have so much experience? Yeah,
I have so much experience, so much wisdom. I've become a much better producer and writer, and I've been signed to 2 labels, Cash Money. Well, it was Cash Money Universal as one, and then the second time I was signed to APG, which is Under Atlantic.
Right.
And yeah, just after being signed to 2 labels, I'm just like, man, like I really just don't need anyone telling me that I can't do anything no more, you know? Like me recording hundreds of songs and then them being like, oh, we really don't have enough for an album. Like I recorded 300 songs and they're like, yeah, we kind of just want to like just put like one out.
Right.
I'm like, what am I doing? Like I feel like I wasted so much time, but you know, I can't think of it that way. I gotta just think of, I've learned a lot of things. I'm a better writer and producer, and now that I have my freedom, I can make the music that I want and just literally do whatever I want.
I love that you literally do whatever you want. You even like you opened an OnlyFans in 2020 for a little bit. Like I feel like that's like a little bit like groundbreaking in a way, because like you're this artist and stuff. Like how did that go? I don't know if you still have it, but the fact that you opened it to have a deeper connection with your fans, like why did you make that decision? Yeah,
I mean, I feel like I have every other social media account, so you know that was like, that came out at the time and everyone was like going crazy over it, and I was like, why not just make one? You know, I can post some sexy pictures of myself.
Hey.
I can give them some unreleased music, or
we don't have any of those in the back.
So you know, it's really for the fans and like my diehard fans, like the ones that are, buying the subscriptions, and they're gonna get all the good stuff. So
I love that. I love that. Tell me a bit about the ordeal that a lot of people had to deal with the whole Bitcoin thing. Like you had like this issue. Like I feel like celebs sometimes mean so well, and then they get caught up in these things. Like I know Kim Kardashian, like a lot of people got caught up in that. How was that experience for you? Because I know you meant well. You didn't mean to, like get into anything weird.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak on it too much now that we've, handled our business with that. But
I know.
Yeah, it was just something that, you don't really think about it too much of like where it could go. It's just kind of like a harmless thing that someone's like, hey, like, throw this out there. But you just never know how it's going to go. So listen, I learned my lesson there, and, won't be doing that again. So.
Totally. And then all that, I want to go back to talking about country music, because again, I love the fact that you're in Nashville. You're really living your country boy core lifestyle right now. You are from Texas after all. So let's talk about A Lone Star Story and the development of that project.
Yeah, so A Lone Star Story was the bridge for me to go from Miami to Nashville. And I remember I was, talking to my managers, and they're like, we think you should maybe tap into going a little country. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it feels like I'm being forced in another direction. Like, it felt like I was like, doing that and just listening to whoever else. But after I thought about it, I was like, I'm from Texas. I'm from San Antonio. I grew up listening to country music. It really wouldn't be that weird. For some people, it might be like, whoa, like, what is this guy doing? Like, just like, but and the people haven't seen me in that light, but that's really where I come from. Is the South. So I grew up wearing boots and jeans and big belt buckles and cowboy hats, and I did all that. And then I heard T-Pain, and I was like, I'm just gonna take this off, get rid of the bolo tie.
That's so funny. But can I tell you something? In all honesty, my favorite version of you as an artist is country Austin.
You think so?
Yes, like you're such a natural.
Thank you.
Like when I heard you, you're like your voice, your style, everything, it just really, really goes really well with you. So I'm glad you decided to really experiment with it.
Thank you, Cata. I appreciate that.
Do you feel like the label tried to convince you because like it was where the wind was blowing, and then you ended up like, because you're a natural, you're not posing?
I think I was really, I don't really like when people say this because it just sounds funny sometimes.
Just
but
say
like,
it. It's called brutally speaking. So
I really was ahead of the whole country curve. Like, it was my managers that were like, listen, like, we were making pop music for a while. Like, it just kind of seems like maybe a little stagnant. Like, you should maybe go back to your roots. Because how they said it to me was like, listen, like, Becky G, like, she was doing the pop thing for a long time, the same time that you were. And they used her as an example. They're like, look, Becky went back to her roots with the Spanish music, and she's bigger than ever. Yep. They're like, maybe you should tap into your country roots and move the needle in a different way. So I was like, it took me like a couple months where I was like, am I just following when people are trying to tell me, like, again, like, I want to do what I want to do. Right. And so at that point I was like, no one could really tell me what to do. So I was like, you know what? I do kind of want to just switch it up and do something different. I've lived in Miami 13 years. I love this city. Right. It's made me who I am. It's not like I'm like tired of it and sick of it, but I just wanted to just get out of my comfort zone, do something different, but also do something even more authentic than what I've been doing this whole time. So I feel like for me, country music is that. And it may seem weird to other people that are like, whoa, Austin Mahone's going country now? Like, it's only because they've seen the pop version of me. Absolutely. But being a country boy is who I am.
What did you learn most about yourself in the fact that you are a dynamic artist? You're not, you don't just fit into one box, into the pop box or into the features box. Like, you are a dynamic artist where if someone tells you get into this genre or that genre, you fit in. You're like the little black dress, wherever you put it looks good.
No, I mean, I just love making music. And, of course, I have genres that I love more than others. So, like I said, country, pop, R&B. I feel like in country, there's R&B, there's also rock and roll. Yeah. And I love all of those genres, all four of them. So it's really like, I would say, I'll consider my genre right now, I would call it pop country. And then there's also some elements of R&B and rock in there.
I love that. Yeah. What's the next step for Austin Mahone? What are you looking to get into?
But wait, I want to go back to how we got from Miami to Nashville.
Oh, please.
So when I decided to, like, you know what, I'm going to tap into the country scene and see what's going on, my good pal Jim Johnson, Grammy Award winning producer, super legend in Miami, He had moved to Nashville like I think like a year or two before I was
Okay.
even making that decision. Probably like 2018 he moved there.
Mhm.
And we were already working like up in Parkland and Coconut Creek and all that years before that, like
Okay.
2016,
Mhm.
you know? So for me to like reconnect with Jim Johnson in Nashville and do a country project that's not like sounding like banjos and fiddles and all that, like something that's like hip hop and also country, I couldn't think of a better producer than Jim Johnson to make that happen, because he was already in Nashville before me, so he kind of like knew some writers, kind of knew the flow of some things. And when I went there and made a Lone Star Story, that was 2020.
Mhm.
So I was like still like mid-pandemic,
Right.
interesting vibes there, you know, getting music done and sending it back and forth and all that. But it was really with Jim Johnson in 2020 when I started the album, A Lone Star Story. It didn't come out till June of 2023.
Okay.
So it took me a while to finish it. But by that time, it was like, country's the new wave.
Right.
And then I like put my album out and I was like, oh, I look like I'm following everyone else now.
You know,
but
I
I
like
made
my
this
chicken
years
fried.
ago. So
Cold beer on a Friday night. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's. I mean, country is it right
it
now.
is. So I was just happy to get that first one off. I think it's definitely one of my best albums, personally, because
Mhm.
I feel like it's actually me. You know, it's not like little me putting out songs that people said I should put out.
No, I feel like it is too. It's some of your best work, and you also like. I don't know if it's because you're comfortable that you're mature. You look more mature. You feel more mature. Like.
Yeah.
You feel like, you know, genuinely comfortable
Thank
in
you.
your skin, in the videos, in the content, in the photos,
I'm glad you feel that.
all
Thank
the
you.
things. Yeah. So like I said, I just wanted to know what's next for you. Do you have other plans or
Mhm.
other things, or do you just want to like delve into country a little more?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going anywhere from the country scene. Like, I'm there to stay. I bought my first purchase of a home in Nashville.
Yes.
So, you know, I've been renting my entire last 13 years living in Miami.
Right.
Blew a lot of money, I'll tell you that, by doing that, because I also had my friends with me. It wasn't just like getting a
Okay,
spot for me.
okay.
It was like me plus 4 other guys from Texas.
It's
So
okay. I'm not judging.
yeah, so I definitely, you know, definitely learned a lot of lessons there. But to have my own place that I own,
Mm.
feels very nice, you know.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats on
So
everything you're
I'm
doing.
in Nashville to stay. I've got new country music coming out, but you know, I've got to come back to Miami and tap in with my boy Chris Daniel, and we got a song called It's Summer. So that's really what's next for me, is what's right now. I'm pushing It's Summer with Chris. We have a release party. And we got a lot of things going on to promote it, and also the record I have with Kodak as well. So that's coming out later, but you know, I'm here to shoot the video with him with that. I also have a week before we released It's Summer, I released my 3rd single called Both Ways,
Mm.
and that's from my new country album. So
Love it. Congrats.
thank you.
Maybe next time we'll have Kodak on here too.
Maybe we'll see.
Just give everybody a hello, give them your social media, and tell them to tune into Basico stream.
Yes, my name is Austin Mahone. You can follow me anywhere online. Just type in @Austin Mahone. I should pop up there. Go listen to It's Summer right now, because that is an amazing record. In Miami, it's summer forever, so you can always have a great time listening to it. And even if it's cold where you are, that song will warm you up. I guarantee it.
Love it,
So,
Austin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
See you guys next time.